Welcome back to another episode of the music industry and me. I am a darling and I am here to share with you everything music industry, from personal stories and anecdotes to tips and tricks to whatever. Let's get into it. Today's episode is going to be about my first studio experience. I have to say, this is my first studio experience outside of school. When I was in secondary school, we had a school studio. I was in there all the time. So this is not that. This is very different. This is going to a studio with people outside of school. You know, it's like stranger danger type of vibes. So let's get into that. I reached out to someone I knew. We're going to refer to him as Apple because I don't want to be saying people's names on here. This channel, this series is not about exposing people and to hate on them. That is not what I'm about. I believe in karma. I believe, you will be dealt with accordingly. I don't have to deal with you type of thing. I'm not going to put negative energy out into the world. Or I'm going to try to put as little negativity out into the world because I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. So in all of these story times, I will be giving people fruits so we can follow along and it not get too confusing. So I knew of Apple and I knew that they used to do music. They released their own project. They had their own recording studio, the whole shebang. Like, they kind of knew what it was that they were doing, and I was trying to do that. I was trying to record a song. I had written a song, and I was trying to record it. So I reached out to Apple, let him know. He was like, okay, I'll take you to the studio. He was like, I know this person. I'll take you there one weekend or something. So we go, everything's fine. We get to the studio of... Let's use another fruit now. Pear. So we're at Pear's studio and I realised I actually recognise him. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know who you are. Like, this is cool. How you doing? Everything's cool. Everything was very slow in terms of starting up. So I don't know what was wrong with his equipment, but it wasn't a case of me getting there and we recorded straight away. I think it was like a good 2.5 hours maybe of me just sitting down and just waiting and not doing anything. And that was really annoying me because I was like, okay, cool, I know who Pear is. It's a home studio. I don't want to be in Pear's home just sat doing nothing. Like, I could be at my own house doing that. Also, if Pear knew I was coming, why were these things not really like in place beforehand? Like, and checked, but whatever. I'm not gonna dwell on that too much because it's the past. You can't change the past. Apple and Pear, they were sat there talking. They were good friends, and they were smoking. And I was just like, okay, cool. Like, they were out there having their own conversations. Like I said, for like 2.5 hours this was, and I was getting annoyed because I was just like, I just want to sing. I feel like I say that. I'm even saying that to this day. Like, I just don't want to do anything else. I just want to sing. Like, why won't you let me sing? Oh, I'm laughing now, but I'm crying internally because that's literally what I want to do. I just want to sing. Like, why is it so difficult? Like, let me just sing. Like, let me just get this off my chest, right? So anyway, they're talking, blah, blah, blah. It's almost as if, like, I'm forgotten about. They didn't realise I'm there. I'm not sure if I ate before I went to the studio, but I was getting hungry. I was offered tea, and I did have a cup of tea. But it's like, you're sat around waiting. You're not singing. I had warmed up and stuff beforehand. But it's like, now the conditions of my voice is changing because I'm getting tired. So now I have a tired voice. You're smoking around me, so the air quality is affected. And my throat is drying out because, like I said, the air quality is affected. So there are just different things coming into play. Me just sat here not doing anything. So it gets to a point where I think, he set up everything, they stopped smoking, and then, like, we're ready to record. So I feel like for recording, I was probably only recording for an hour. And at that point, I was exhausted. I had to, like, slap myself awake They did ask me to like sing the song beforehand and hear me like sing it how I wanted to deliver it, and I sang it to them, and then I sang the chorus to them, and they were like, yeah, this has potential. They liked the chorus. They were singing harmonies over it because, you know, they both were musicians. They both can sing. They were just like, you know, singing harmonies stuff, and I was like, ooh, yeah, I like that. And then I kind of like tried to lay it down, but like I said, my voice was not giving what it needed to be giving at that point in time because I was so tired. Like my body was shutting down. So what I received at the end of it was like a demo of kind of a chorus, and I was there for a good couple of hours, but the actual time of recording was like an hour, and it wasn't even a good hour because I was tired, I was falling asleep. So after that, I'm not sure if I tried to reach out to Apple again to go to the studio. I don't think I did, but I felt like Apple wasn't trying to really help. I felt like Apple was just trying to jump on the next thing that could make him rich, and I could have been that for him at that time. That's just how it felt. I could be completely wrong. That's just, you know, that's just how I feel. Like, you can't take away from what I feel. My feelings are valid. So yeah, I didn't feel like it was very productive, nor did he try to follow up. And I don't get it twisted, I didn't expect any of this from him. I did ask him to help me go to the studio, blah blah blah. It didn't work out. Cool. I'm a babe with my own initiative. I have gone and found other people to record, create with. Like I said, I love music. Nothing, nobody is going to stop me. So even if it takes me a million years, okay, maybe not a million years, but even if it takes me a long time to come across people who I think understand what it is, the vision that I'm going for, the vibes that I'm trying to articulate across to them, then so be it. Like, I have a specific vision for my art and for my craft and for my work and for my music, and if you can't see, if you can't understand, it's fine. I'm not going to force you to see and understand. It just means that you're not the one who's going to help me create the vision that I'm trying to create. I never reached out to Apple again after that. I never reached out to Pear again after that. Nothing personal. I think it was because where Pear lived, he lived quite far from where I was, so it just wouldn't have been practical for me to be traveling up to him so often. And also, like I said, with the impression of him not being ready once I got there, I don't want to be traveling to you for like, let's say an hour, and I get there and your studio equipment still isn't ready for me once I get there, and I have to wait for you to set it up, and then you're gonna no. Like, I just want to work. If I say I'm gonna see you at 6 o'clock, once I get there, like, I want to start like straight away. Maybe let me go to the toilet, maybe let me put my things down, but within 15 minutes, within either 15 to 25 minutes of me being there, like, I need to have started what I came here for. I don't want to waste my time. Like, I already know what it is that I want to do here. That's why I'm here. I just need you to help me record it. At that time, I didn't have my own recording equipment. So yes, I was heavily reliant on other people and other resources. But now things have changed. It's no bad blood between either one of them. It just didn't work out, and that's fine. But I think that first experience for me taught me a lot. And I'm glad that it wasn't with complete strangers, because I've heard a lot of stories about women going to studios for the first time with strangers, and, you know, just certain things happening, and it can put off people from wanting to be in this industry and wanting to be in studio environments with men, all men. But now I think about it, a lot of my experiences in this industry are with men, but there's a difference between the men that I'm comfortable with and the men that I'm uncomfortable with, but we will unpack that as the series goes on. Thank you for listening to my story, my experience. I really hope it's helped you to understand and gain an insight into what a studio environment may be like. Well, I don't know actually, because it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best experience, I'm not gonna lie. But as a new person coming into the industry, I think it's important to hear how people have started off. Before I've started recording in studios, like professional studio spaces, most of the time I am in people's home studios, if not my own home studio, recording stuff. So, you know, it does happen sometimes. It is the cheaper way to record music, to do it in someone's home studio than in a professional rented space, or, you know, whatever the conditions are of that space. However, I think my main takeaway is, if you're going to the studio for the first time, one, know the people who you're going with. If you don't know who they are, take someone, a friend, anyone with you so that you are safe, okay? That's number one. Number two, it may not go according to plan, okay? Because equipment can fail at any time. Number three, make sure you're ready in the studio setting, because then you're not wasting your time. And if you've paid for the studio session as well, you're not wasting your money. Number five, I think it kind of just goes back to being comfortable in the environment. If these are people that you don't know and you've not worked with, try to have a conversation with them before you meet up with them. Just try to get a gauge and a feel of how they work. Ask them questions. Okay, so what is this like? What is that like? And also by their responses, you can tell whether they will be patient with you, whether they will be respectful of you, or whether they won't be. Because I feel like someone, if you are talking to someone for the first time, you're asking them, what's your recording process like? And you continue to ask loads of questions for them. If they know what they're doing, if they know what they're talking about, they will be able to answer those questions easily. If they're getting frustrated, if they're asking, why are you asking so many questions for? If you've expressed to them as well that this is your first time going to a studio and they aren't feeling all the questions, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Run for your life. There's a lot of things that need to be considered when you're going to the studio for the first time, and I want everyone to have a safe and fun studio environment and studio session. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and turn the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. You can find me on social media at askainatdarling everywhere. So that's at askainatdarling on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok and Snapchat if you dare. I will see you next week for another episode. Bye. Anything you want, you got it. Tonight I wanna do it on the carpet.